Ethereum survives the SEC, and meanwhile, Bitcoin traders are bored. Let's get into the news. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, different scenario. I'm traveling with the family, so I'm sorry about any audio or video issues. I'm on a mobile setup, so I hope we're able to get the best out of what we have. So as I mentioned right in the beginning, we have two major things happening right now. We have SEC news for Ethereum, and we have bored traders, bored Bitcoin holders. Well, let's start with the SEC because there was the fresh big news of the week. This week, the SEC dropped all cases, everything that he was looking into Ethereum, and that made Ethereum, which wasn't doing very good in this past few weeks, it made it rally 4.5% in a single day. So in a couple of candles, it boom spiked all the way to 4.5%. So that is bullish news because of course Ethereum has the ETF on its way, so that brings a lot of attention to Ethereum, which is very good. But there's a few people who believe that Ethereum will not go up. A good friend of mine, Patrick, Dynamo DeFi, you might know him, he for example thinks that Ethereum won't repeat the same story that happened to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin 2 months after the announcement of the Bitcoin ETF, it spiked, it rallied like crazy, and he personally believes that the story won't repeat itself with Ethereum. Well, I honestly do not agree with that, because if we look at some data, we have here this data from Glassnode. It shows that ETH balances across all exchanges dropped to an 8-year low, meaning that right now we have less Ethereum on exchanges than we had in 2016. I don't even remember what price was Ethereum in 2016. If you want to guess, comment down below, what price do you think Ethereum was in 2016? I personally would say 30 bucks, maybe less. So according to this data, we only have 12.5 million Ethereum in across all exchanges. So of course it doesn't mean that we only had this Ethereum available, because of course there's a lot of Ethereum in DeFi, but when you consider that people are not going to go into DeFi to look for this Ethereum, and personally this is bullish for me because it could bring to something similar to a short squeeze, because there won't be enough supply for the demand that the ETF could have, mainly because whoever is mainstream, whoever is not a DeFi enthusiast, so they don't even know what a MetaMask is, they don't even know what a wallet is, they're not going to go to DeFi to buy Ethereum. They're going to try to buy Ethereum on exchanges, Binance, Kraken, whatever is available on their area. But because we had this drop in volume, and a lot of funds are also buying Ethereum for their own ETFs, so we have Vanguard, BlackRock, all of these, they are buying Ethereum. So Ethereum is kind of low on supply on mainstream places, exchanges, ETFs, and this could be either bullish for DeFi or just bullish for Ethereum as a whole. Again, this is just me speculating. I might be saying just some stupid stuff, but this is personally how I view the market. So for me, it is good that we have lower supplies on exchanges for Ethereum, because that could bring either mainstream eyes to DeFi, that could bring a lack of supply, which means the price of Ethereum could be spiking up. This is my personal opinion. What do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think it won't be as successful as Bitcoin's ETF was? What do you believe? Comment down below. Regarding Ethereum, Ethereum staking is up a lot now. It has over 46 million Ethereum staked, which is nearly 4 times as much as the amount that exchanges has. It means that there's way more Ethereum now available on DeFi than on centralized exchanges. So, which is very good for DeFi, because at the end of the day, we want everything to be decentralized when it comes to our crypto. If you also look at technical analysis, we have a lot of supports converging into a single place, which is around the 3,500. On Fibonacci, we have the 0.5. On the 50-day EMA, we also have around the 3,500 a strong support, and we also have a trend support at that level. So that being said, it doesn't mean that won't go below again, because these past few days, as we've been watching, it kept going up and down, over and under the 3,500 mark. So our only hope is that it tests around that area again, and this support shows us that it is strong and Ethereum can rely on it to bounce on it and go up and never stop. For Bitcoin news, Bitcoin is at its lowest it has been in the past month. So from middle of May to now, this is the lowest Bitcoin has been, which is not good news, but it's also not bad news because it hasn't moved that much at the end of the day. Everyone was hyped up when we saw 70K Bitcoin, and whenever Bitcoin came down to the 60s, people kind of thought it was boring, and now we see a lot of boredom from traders, from Bitcoin holders. The greed that they had before starting to slow down. That being said, it's not because there isn't greed. It doesn't mean that people don't get liquidated, because again, people did get liquidated on long positions in the past 48 48 hours, we got close to $500 million in long positions and close to 70,000 million short positions as the time of recording this video. So a lot of people get liquidated on both sides because, again, Bitcoin kind of looks boring on the chart as well. It is on a downtrend, but this slope isn't very steep. So it is just kind of slowly gliding and falling in a very, very steady pace. Not something that I'm personally worried about. I'm just waiting to whenever I have the chance to buy more Bitcoin, because I think we're not going to be seeing Bitcoin at these ranges after it goes up, which I believe it will be shortly. For BTC technical analysis, we again have another ascending triangle. It looks like this right now, you see in the screen, and it basically traces a triangle, and Bitcoin starts to get in a shorter range and a shorter range. At one point, it has to break either to the upside or the downside. This one is ascending because of the slope it has. So people believe that once it reaches almost the end of the funnel, the end of the triangle, at one point it will break and go above these levels. And people who don't necessarily agree with the ascending triangle, they are seeing an inverse head and shoulders. This one for me could make sense. Again, head and shoulders are very good indicators on the stock market. It could reflect a positive uptrend on Bitcoin as well. You can see right here from the picture that we're currently on the bottom part of the right shoulders, so it could test again and then go back up as the image suggests. And we couldn't leave it behind. We always have to go back to the halving. So the halving, historically, everyone uses the halving to compare previous historical data for Bitcoin and see if it's following the same patterns, which again, a lot of people believe it is from this image right here that you're seeing on the screen, because you see there's a little spike and then a little correction. So people are seeing that the same things happened between 2015 and 2017, and it looks similar to what we have right now chart wise for 2024. So is this pushing? Is this just macroeconomics or adjustment on the charts to make it look like it is actually doing that, or is it not? Again, technical analysis has a lot of different speculation, but at the end of the day, you can be right and you can be wrong. And there's always people who say something and then they were right, but then they say something else and they were wrong. So you have to do your due diligence. You kind of have to see where you get your technical analysis information from. Just make sure you don't follow just blindly whatever a person says. This goes even for myself. Don't blindly follow what I said, because at the end of the day, this is just a statistical game. Well, that being said, what can you do for both of this? I personally am longing. A big part of my positions, even right now when the market's a little bit slow, instead of going for 0 DTE, which are very, very good when the market's kind of moving a lot, there's a lot of volatility, then 0 DTEs are very, very good because you can make a lot of money and because the market's a little bit more predictable when it gets to a trend. So if you see a bullish pattern there, you can go and do 0 DTE spreads and make a lot of money, because it is clear that the market's going to go for one direction. But right now it is very, very choppy, especially for 0 DTE. So on the 4 hours charts, on the 2 hour charts, they look kind of choppy. So it doesn't make sense. But in the long term, if you go a month out, you can for sure take some very, very safe options, which is what I'm doing. On the last video, you saw we made a very, very good 24%. So that is something that money in my pocket. I'm still holding on leaps for 2025. I'm holding on leaps to December, and I'm most likely going to be buying more leaps and maybe more 3 to 4 months out options if Bitcoin and Ethereum goes even lower than current price. So if you also want to do these trades or do something similar, or maybe the opposite, you believe the market's going to go down, so you want to buy puts, you can do that on Bitopics, and it's going to be the first link in the description as always. For the winners of last week's giveaway, if you took part of it, you will see a post here on YouTube on our community tab very, very soon, and there I'm going to be sharing the winner for the giveaway. So these $100, you will have to create an account on bitopics.io. The link is going to be the first in the description, and then if you were the winner, you can go on the community tab on the post and reach out with your email. We can locate that account and give you that money straight on your account on Bitopics. So a lot to unpack. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. In the meantime, have a good weekend. Peace.